When?
Well, just a second. I was just trying to move it.
Oh, okay. Where did we stop, you think?
Oh, we're right, like, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it was.
No,
anyway,
but I'm saying, like, what were we saying?
We were talking about, we had moved off the Celtics and the Knicks. We were talking about Milwaukee and Minnesota last night.
I was just saying 13 points in a quarter is treacherous. And you know it wasn't the Bucks defense.
I don't know
way.
that.
Then they gave up 37 in the fourth.
Well, again, this is my question to you. Is this the Minnesota being the young green team that they are in terms of experience, or was this Milwaukee finally turning corner? The reason I ask the question is Milwaukee defensively in the last 10 games has been much better. Their offense has been their problem, not their defense. Their defense went from like 20-something to 10 overall. So they've been playing better defense. But again, to your point, 37 points in the fourth quarter. So, but again, that was Minnesota.
And they had a big lead, too.
Yeah, but again, that was Minnesota, who's the best team in the West right now. Mm-hmm. That wasn't an 8th-place team that did that to them. That was Minnesota.
So you're bringing that up because the Bucks could beat the Knicks.
I don't know that they can.
They could. They could. Because what I'm hearing now, and I hate this.
Look, they added Pat Beverly. Yeah. Right. He's a pest. He's a defensive pest. He'll help them on defense because they couldn't get any worse anyway. He'll help them there. And they added another guy. Gallinari. Who's a scorer? He's an offensive. He's a shooter.
Hey, look, he's Italian. I like him.
No, he's
but give me a fucking
break.
Soft.
He's soft serve puppy shit.
He was like, I feel the same way about him that I feel about Porzingis. Even though we traded Gallinari away for Melo.
Gallinari was never as good as Porzingis, ever.
No, I'm not saying
at any time.
I'm not saying he's a level player. I said I feel the same way about him.
Okay.
Like, I don't like him anymore.
Okay.
White guy, Knicks drafted, and now I hate him.
Italian,
yeah.
Really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Italian guy.
Goddamn paisan.
Look, he's been a fraud. Look, no team he's ever been on has won.
Yeah, he's not.
To me, I don't think Milwaukee's going to break his curse. The Gallinari curse is real. It's real.
Well, hopefully it comes into play.
Not one team he's ever been on has won anything.
But here's my thing. If the Knicks don't get a healthy Julius Randle back...
No, they're not going to be a contender.
No, they're not. Now, getting OG will help them.
Yep.
They still need Julius. Because when you look at a team like the Celtics, they're just too fucking good.
Tatum had 15 shots tonight. That's it.
He didn't even have to do anything.
He took 15 shots. This is what people were missing tonight. Because at halftime they were the Michael Wilbons, the Tatum haters, if you will, are saying, well, he's only got 7 points, and they're going, well, he only needs to score 7 points. And if Randall was out there, he'd score more because Randall would score more. Randall's better than because put it this way, here's the thing that, especially with basketball, this is very true. If Randall's out there, the Knicks are a much better offensive team.
Yeah,
they just are.
He can get his own shot.
He can get his own shot with no help from anybody
and
else.
He's not 6'3" Jalen Brunson. He can get his own shot.
He's 6'8",
wherever.
6'9", whatever he is.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, but that's the thing. Jason Tatum, I think, and again, Brown was like, all right, well, they're going to, and again, by the way, every time Jason Tatum came off a pick tonight, he got double teamed.
Yeah.
He had 6 assists. Okay? Mm-hmm. So he passed the ball. He did the right thing. He didn't force many shots, but they left Jaylen Brown one-on-one, and you saw what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? So you got to pick your poison. Now, if Randall is out there, the Knicks are going to offensively be much more formidable.
And if OG's out there, completely different. Because now they have 2 bigs in Randall and OG.
Yep.
Then if you have Mitchell Robinson, too, now you have like a legit big man, not who is as good as Porzingis, or not even as good as Al Horford, but defensively changes things in the game.
He does. Now, where Boston still has the edges, Porzingis pulls him away from the basket.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because if that lane is still open, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So, but again, this is where the chess match comes into play here. I still think Tibbs is a better coach than Mazzulla by a lot. And that's why if they're healthy, I think that series goes 6 or 7 games, because I think Mazzulla will get outcoached.
That'd be awesome.
I think it will go 6 or 7 games if they play each other in the conference finals. If they end up there,
I would love to see that.
And I think, and again, I'm not. Again, what Milwaukee did last night, it's one game. I need to see it again. Because to me, it's more to your point. It was one quarter where Minnesota fell asleep more than anything else. Because as bad as they were in the third, they came roaring back in the fourth.
37.
So again, I don't. To me, it's one game. If I see them do that over a week, 2 weeks, then I'll start to believe it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's one game. But they won it, and they won it in Minnesota. So that's a big win.
You know what? You know what I really struggle with? And and it's kind of a bullshit thing about me, but when my team is not full strength and they're getting beat by another team, who even if the Knicks were full strength, the Celtics are a better team than them.
They are.
The Knicks have a shot
on paper.
The Knicks
they
have
are.
a shot to beat
they
them.
They do. It's on paper.
But,
it doesn't mean they're really better.
Like
they're better on
going
paper.
in tonight, like they had no shot. But then you hear them say, "Oh, the Celtics are shooting 70% against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA." It's like this team that's on the court right now
is not
one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
No,
you know what I mean? And then
it's not.
And so that shit pisses me off because it's like.
And again,
I think you can't even really believe what you're seeing because it's not real.
There's two things can be true here. Look, I think Boston took them seriously, but again, Boston at the end of the day knew that they didn't have enough firepower to beat them if Boston didn't fuck up. Here's the key stat: 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Boston knew the only way this team was going to beat them is if they gave them extra possessions. 7 turnovers is outstanding. I don't care who you're playing against. Okay? And they only took 35 threes. They hit 15, so they were 42%. So they were right where they needed to be there. Yeah. Okay? So they were careful not to fuck around. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Because I was kind of annoyed that they never did it.
Maybe they're maturing.
It's kind of like, all right.
Again, this is
all
like...
All was talking about how dumb they are, and they made the right play all fucking night.
But this is like the Milwaukee thing with... Was this really them turning a corner? Or was this one... I'll believe it when I see it over the course
Maybe it's because they were in the Mecca.
Well...
The Mecca.
Well, it was on prime time, and all the celebrities were there. And if they made... First of all, if the whole nation's watching and they embarrass themselves, that's going to look bad.
I'm a Knicks fan, and when I hear people call it the Mecca, I want to throw up.
It's not the Mecca.
We haven't seen a championship in the Mecca,
it's not the Mecca
since
basketball.
before I was fucking born.
That's like see, and it's New York fans, not him. He's smart enough not to do that, but it's the New York Yahoo fans, sports fans. They're like the Cowboy fans that think that they're America's team, when they haven't been America's team for well over a fucking quarter century, and they were never really America's team. That was a title that was given to them by a sportscaster. I don't remember a straw poll being taken on this, by the way. I don't ever remember.
People
Dallas
used to say the Knicks were.
No, it's like calling the Madison Square Garden the Mecca of basketball is like saying the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. It's not the Mecca of basketball. The Mecca.
But isn't it people really saying New York City is like where it started?
The game was invented in Springfield, Mass.
Really?
It's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Well, it figures a guy from fucking Mass would say
that's right. Of course I would say,
you know what?
It's true.
New York is the fucking Mecca.
The Hall of Fame is in Springfield, Massachusetts, where the game was invented.
Really?
Yes. You didn't know this?
No.
Oh my God.
I know Canton and Cooperstown. I didn't know the Basketball Hall of Fame was in Springfield, Mass. Never knew that.
We might need to take a timeout. I'm going to need another drink. I can't believe you did not know that.
Is it really that big a deal?
It's bad.
Why?
Because the Knicks are one of the original 8 NBA franchises, and you're a Knicks fan. Your favorite player is Patrick fucking Ewing. Okay? You have enough of a history so you should know where the fucking Hall of Fame is.
The Knicks have sucked since 1999. Okay? Forgive me if I didn't give a fuck.
You were 17 when they were still good. You had 17 years to figure out where the fucking Hall of Fame was.
But why do I give a fuck?
Because there are Knicks in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but at that point, I didn't know any of them.
Let me ask you
Ewing
this.
was still playing.
Yeah, but did you not know he was going to be a Hall of Famer before he retired? You kind of knew. There was a point where you knew he was going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I know he is.
But
I never saw Patrick Ewing's Hall of Fame speech. They don't publicize it the way they do in football and baseball.
They do. Just New York hasn't paid attention because, to your point, the team hasn't been good.
All right.
But that doesn't mean you don't know where the Hall of Fame is. I'll bet if I asked Spike Lee where the Hall of Fame is, he'd fucking know. Okay.
Give me a fuck.
Or anybody else, for that matter. But the bottom line...
Yeah, and then you ask Spike Lee who's on the team right now. Even though he's been to 30 games, he couldn't tell you.
Well, he's too busy yelling for zebras. Yeah, I'll bet you he can tell you every ref that's been reffing.
I think Spike is actually a real Knicks fan.
He's come around. Actually, he did a commercial with Bird. That was pretty cool. He talked about
come around. It was like 40 years ago.
They used to hate Bird.
But he did that commercial with him 40 years ago.
Don't you remember the story I told you last year how he was so nervous to meet him because of all he badmouthed him and Bird was cool about it. He came in and they had a beer together, whatever it was, and there was like he's so different than I thought he was. Like, yeah, imagine what happens when you actually meet somebody. So no, he did a 180 on that, which was cool.
I thought he was a white son of a bitch.
Fucking, it was all.
I mean, he is a white son of a bitch.
He's white.
That's what made him good.
That's what made him good. He was a white man in a black man's game, and he was the standard everybody measured themselves against. He was, and they say it.
Pizzoli. It's like, it's my fucking name.
Pizzoli.
Pizzoli.
So the Knicks fall to 30. They fall to 34-20. They're still in the 4th spot. They're still in striking distance.
Just stay afloat, Knicks. And that's what they're doing. They beat the Sixers.
This was not a game we thought they were going to win.
Hey, the fact that they split the Sixers and the Celtics.
You said win the games you're supposed to win.
Yeah.
If they do that, they'll be fine.
And without Embiid, they were supposed to beat the Sixers.
Here's the silver lining.
But I was worried.
The Knicks bench got meaningful minutes against the best team in the NBA tonight, and they stayed with them for a while. That's meaningful. There's a silver lining here.
Here's the other thing I wanted to say. Well, it's tough for me to hear people talk,
positively.
It's tough to hear the whole, the Celtics did this against one of the best defensive teams. It's also tough to see some of these guys that they traded for, in roles that they're not meant to be in. Mm-hmm. And it's making me sour on them. Alec Burks, my God. I don't know if you watched him.
I did.
Bad shot selection.
Yes.
And just bad shooter.
Again, that's not the role they got him to play.
He's supposed to be a 3-and-D'er. And I understand, he's not going to be getting the minutes he's getting tonight. The situations he's going to have the ball are going to be different. He's gonna, so
the personnel he'd be on the floor with will be different.
Same thing with Bogdanovich.
Yes.
Bogdanovich looks lost out there because he
did tonight.
Right. And it's like he's trying to break somebody down off the dribble. Al Horford's like, what?
Yeah.
You're not going to dribble by me.
No.
You're not that good.
No. Al Horford was very good off the bench tonight. 10 points, 7
minutes.
He was very good tonight. He was. The Celtics bench. I'll tell you the other good thing about tonight. The Celtics bench showed people they're actually good. They did some good stuff tonight.
Yeah. Well, they're playing against. Yeah. It would have been a better matchup to see our bench against the Celtics bench. Yeah. You're seeing our back end bench. Uh-huh.
But again, that's what Tibbs is going to say behind closed doors is he's going to he's going to stand in front of a microphone and go, look, we had our chances to stay in this game and we blew it. That's what he should say. Behind closed doors, he's going to tell him something different.
Alert.
Uh-oh.
He's going to tell him, hey, look, we're outgunned.
Well, you guys fought hard, and by the way, this is good minutes for you guys against a team like that. You're not going to see another team like that unless you see him again in the conference finals, maybe. So this is good for you. And it is. He's not wrong. He would not be wrong to say that.
Celtics are just...
And as a coach, you should say that. So, again, I didn't take anything out of this game other than the Celtics did what they had to do to get out of there with winning, nobody got hurt.
I also wanted to say this. Brunson gets a lot of calls. And
he gets more calls than Tatum gets.
Yeah.
That's disgusting, bro.
And
I'm not saying he shouldn't get those calls. I'm saying Tatum doesn't get the calls he should get. Well, and by the way, that's not the first time
Tatum's always bitching, though.
Well, Brunson, they all bitch.
Well, Brunson's always...
He's a master flailer.
Yes, he is.
He's a master flailer. No. There was one where he came in the lane and nobody touched him. And
I'm like, Hauser and Tatum both go.
Are you serious? Like he did.
Derek White.
It was Derek White who just stood there like this and didn't do anything.
And then the other thing he gets is he initiates contact all the time.
No, but you've got to do that when you're small.
I know. And that's why he gets the calls. But then on the other end, they were initiating contact on him, and they got called for 3 charges. Drew Holiday.
Yep.
Tatum got called for 1, and Pritchard got called for 1.
And by the way, this is why my father, God rest his soul, taught me the spin move. For that exact reason. And by the way, it didn't happen on all these calls. None of them tried to spin off him. They tried to overpower him, and he fell down. He took the bump. When you feel the first bump, here's the rule, and here's a little behind the curtain for you. When you're playing in a game against a guy who knows how to play, you're going to get 1 bump. And then the second one, he's going down.
Flying,
So what my father taught me was after the first one, as soon as you get near him, just spin one way or the other. Don't go into him. Spin one way or the other. If he falls, they know because you're going away from him, and they won't call it. And my father, God rest his soul, that's how good a coach he was. He taught me that when I was 12. Okay, so because they started calling charges, charges became a big thing in college, especially college basketball. It's always been a big deal. But when I got into the AAU and things like that, he started talking about that.
A lot of charge calls suck, in my opinion.
Well, I'm glad they had this little circle so you can determine,
But one thing I don't like is how. So they say this thing, you have to be in defensive position. But how many times you see a guy sprint to a spot and just and it's a split second, like, dude, you're not in defensive position.
But again,
what I'm saying?
You're right. But here's the advantage.
Letter of the law.
Again, here's the advantage you and I have. We're sitting at home watching it on TV. It's a bang bang speed play, and the refs aren't quick enough to decipher.
No,
that.
but I'm saying like
that's why they have replay.
That's like something that I feel like they'd have to work on in the off season and in between games to go.
Yep.
That's not a charge. That is a block. This guy was not defending.
Yeah.
He slid in there. I don't know. I think it's a bad play, but maybe.
No, there are times when if the guy. Here's the thing: if the guy is on defense has established position, you must go around him. You can't go through him if he's established position. Now, your question is, when is that?
Yeah.
And that's where the gray area comes in.
Right.
And if the guy like Brunson, who by the way is one of the league leaders in taking charges, by the way,
Yeah.
he is.
He's
gonna get the benefit of the doubt because that's what he does. If you have a reputation for doing that, you're gonna get those calls.
Yeah.
You are. Trust me. And again, kudos to Brunson for that. But the thing is, the Celtics should know that.
Yeah.
So if he bumps you once before you spin and go one way, he's going to take the fall. That's, by the way, that's poor coaching. Because to your point, there were 3 of them. There should have been 0. Because they should have spun off one way or another or stepped back into. Because he was going to go down.
They were all slightly different plays.
Like here's the thing:
Tatum just charged him.
No, but here's the thing. That's my point. Is Jalen Brunson a shot blocker?
No.
He
just pull up.
So I could pull up on Jalen Brunson and get over him. I'm 6'4", he's 6'1". He's not blocking my shot if I jump up and he stops. He's looking for the charge. If I suddenly pull up, no, he's 6'1".
6'1".
He's 6'1". Derek White is 6'5". Drew Holiday is 6'5". Tatum is 6'9".
Yeah, Drew Holiday just tried to.
He just tried to overpower.
He
should have stopped and just pulled him, taking this nice little jump shot. That's all he had to do.
Or just slowly post him.
Yeah.
I mean,
just shoot over him off the first bump. By the way, if he's bumping you, he can't jump anyway.
Yeah.
The first bump, take a step back and shoot a little 10-footer. This guy can do. I've seen him do that over bigger guys than him. So that's the thing. That's just poor scouting. That's like this kid is one of the league leaders in that. They should have known that coming in. He don't fall for it. First bump, second one, he's going down. And you saw it happening, and the third one, I'm like, wow, they fell for that 3 times.
Well, but the third one,
not the refs, the Celtics fell for that 3 times.
The third one was when Pritchard tried to initiate the contact with him behind him, and Brunson did that like 3 times and got the call.
Yep.
But this time they called it offensive, and I was like, that a little uneven, but I'll take it.
You're at home. You're gonna get home teams get the bulk of the calls usually in the NBA. That's just how it works. But look, in any event, the Knicks just got to get healthy. They showed Randall working out again before the game in the pregame. If you saw the pregame, but he was working out on the court.
Yeah, it's like
so. They're talking 11 days with him.
That's not bad.
No, 11 days. They're thinking he should be back. The other guy, OG, they're
Obi-Wan.
talking Obi-Wan. They're talking like March 12th, somewhere around there, right now.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. So to your point, win the games you're supposed to win, and stay in the top 6.
Yeah.
Just stay in the top 6. Okay, and if you do that, you're gonna be fine. Again, we don't know Philly's situation with Embiid. We don't know. We don't know. But I will tell you this, and you know this from experience: 7-footers and knee problems, if not treated properly, don't end well.
Yeah. Knee, foot.
They don't end well. If I'm Philly and you're not in the top 4 in 3 weeks,
and how will they be?
I don't think they will be.
Although they just, after the Knicks beat them, they went and beat somebody.
They did.
Who'd they beat?
They won at home. It was somebody from the West, too.
Yeah.
It was one of the Western teams.
And I was like, how the fuck did that happen?
Because teams at home are better. They're better at home.
It wasn't Minnesota. Yeah, but the Knicks just went in there and slapped the shit out of them.
The Knicks are a better defensive team than they are. Even with their bench, they're better. Philly doesn't play good defense. Philly's not a good defensive team. They're not.
I was a little surprised.
And if you take Embiid out of the middle, they don't have a shot blocker. He's a good shot blocker, but he's not in there. You got to get.
They beat the Cavs.
Yeah, the Cavs.
Cavs are a good team.
They are a good team. So
I wonder what happened there.
Well, they went into Philly and look at the desperate team. Again, I don't think the Knicks were desperate tonight. The Knicks just had to stay afloat and put up a good fight. They did.
I mean, Knicks should be.
If the Knicks got boat raced by 40, I'd have been more concerned if I were the Knicks. Because like what, you were home, you didn't even put up a fight on national TV. That I'd have been concerned about. Losing by 14 is not
true.
That's not a. I wouldn't get mad about that. But if you got boat raced, yeah, at home, national TV, yeah, I'd have been upset about that.
Oh, hang on a second. What's his face for Cleveland?
Mitchell.
He didn't play.
Well, that makes it even then because Embiid didn't play.
Right.
The 2 best players on either team didn't play. Well, that's an even match.
Okay, so that's why they won.
Okay, well that's fair.
I wonder why Donovan Mitchell didn't play.
I didn't even know he was hurt.
He's not listed at all. Like not even on the did not play.
Really?
Mobley, Okoro.
But he wasn't in the lineup at all. He's not on the bench?
Not in the bench, nothing.
Didn't make the trip, it sounds
Which
like.
is weird.
Sounds like he didn't make the trip, America.
Sounds like it.
Anyway, we're going to break segment 2. We're going to come back. We're going to talk grapefruit. And no, I'm not talking about the actual fruit, boys and girls.
Baseball.
Baseball has
the
returned.
one constant.
I want to hear the gloom and the doom after the first preseason.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fall into that.
But actually, no, I do want his take on the Red Sox. And there was some jibber jabber and some jabber jibber this week up in Boston. He clearly does not know about it, but I want to see his face and hear his take on this one because he thinks the Red Sox are going to be better. Oh, baby. We will see you in segment 2. Yoda, Jobu, Betty, maybe. Who the hell knows? But I know this. This will definitely be on tap. See you in a bit.
Oh, this is such a terrible sequence.